I am Lamarcia Lewis. Let's talk. Wednesday, October the 18th, 2023. I hope you all have had a fantastic Wednesday. I want to do commentary about Joy Behar, who is a co-host of The View. She is basically the longest co-host that has been there from she was original co-host when Barbara Walters and Bill Geddes started the show. They did fire her. She was gone, I think, maybe a couple of seasons or so, but she came back. And ever since she's came back, she's been there thus far. They are in the 27th season. And Joy recently had a birthday. She's in her 80s. I believe she turned 81, 82. But she recently, Joy Behar was recently a guest on the Sherri Shepherd show, which Sherri also is a former View co-host, but currently has her own show. She took that time slot of the Wendy Williams show. So we're going to listen to this video, and then we're going to have a conversation. It's funny. Joy Behar, well, Sherri shared some information, then Joy Behar shared even more information that we didn't know about the late. And again, she's still that phenomenal, legendary Barbara Walters, but we learned something here, so let's listen.
That I was scared of Barbara Walters.
Well,
You used to laugh.
why? What was scary about her?
I don't know. She was just so formidable.
Yeah.
And even and the thing about it is I would tell you stuff and then you would go and tell it. And I've never told this before. I'm gonna tell. I told Joy that I had run into Paul Moody, and Paul Moody had said that he caught Barbara Walters
There he is.
with Richard Pryor. Caught Barbara Walters with Richard, and I was like,
she slept with Richard.
yes, that's what Paul Mooney said. And I came back, and I was like, Joy, guess what? When you talk like that, you know, don't tell nobody.
No, but I remember this.
And I came in, I told you, and I said, Paul Mooney said he caught Barbara with Richard Pryor. He walked in on him. And then I was like, don't tell nobody.
He walked in on
He
them?
walked in. That's what he said. He looked through the door, and I said, don't act like you don't remember. I said, it was just me and Joy. And I said, enjoy. And I'm like, don't tell nobody. The next day, Barbara walks in, and you go,
I didn't say you told me.
no, you didn't. But
did not.
she said something like, so you schlepping Richard Pryor, huh?
And what did she say? Wait, what did she
She
say?
turned around, and, Barbara's head was swivel like that, and she goes, who told you that? And I'm sitting there like I done just got this job. And Joy, you do that because you're not scared of Barbara.
Well, Barbara, between you and me, Barbara liked her brother.
Yeah, I know. She did.
She was going out with a black senator. Is this going to be on television? No, she did. You don't have his picture. But
No, we don't. No,
it's in her book.
It's in her book,
Yeah.
Audition. She was going out with a black senator.
Right.
Because you always used to say Barbara loved the chocolate man.
She used to love Colin.
Colin Powell was her
Loved Colin Powell.
Every time Colin Powell came on, Barbara was all the way over here.
Yeah.
All the way.
She's true. She did. She loved her brother.
You know what?
We're gonna have a good time.
So that was from the Sherri Shepherd show. Again, it's been about maybe about a week ago. Again, Joy was a guest on Sherri's show, and she shared that information about, again, the late legendary Barbara Walters. it was funny because she's like, between me and you, and then she's sitting there on the couch on a TV show in a studio and with the audience, and then the audience kind of gasped and laughed to make her like, okay, it's not just the two of you. You are on this show. And she said, between me and you. Then she goes on and said, wait, is this going to be on TV? So I don't guess it would. I'm sure it wasn't planned for Joy to reveal all of that. I guess you could say some secrets of the late Mrs. Walters. And then because Sherri went on to say she had never told the story before, so she was just kind of in conversation talking about how she had a fear of the late Miss Walton, and Joy wasn't scared of her. And it's so and Joy went on and said she loved the brother, and when she mean a brother, she's meaning a person, a man of color, a black man. She made the Joy stated that she dated a senator, and Sherri said that's right. Barbara did acknowledge that it's in a book of hers. I can't remember if she said that if the title's edition or audition, one of the two, but it's a book that Barbara Walters wrote where she I guess acknowledged that she did have an affair with the senator. The gentleman's name was Edward Brooke. He was a senator in Massachusetts. After I found out who he was, because I had heard another person do a story about this, and she mentioned the man's name, so I went and looked him up. So you can do the same. Edward Brooke. He was born in October 26, 1919, passed away in January the 3rd, 2015. It said was an American lawyer, politician, represented Massachusetts in the United States. So if you want to look up the gentleman. And he's a relative from the pictures that I'm seeing. He was a relative attractive man. They did say the reason that basically ended the affair was one for both of their career. I'm not sure if he was married at the time he and Miss Walters were dating or having an affair, because he was married twice. So, again, I don't know if their time was between him being married or just in between the two of them dating. That is not known. But it was just kind of, I was like, wow, to find out, one, that Barbara Walters liked the black men. Two, that she had an affair with a senator who was a black man. But then when Sherri said that Paul Moody said he walked in, and she said that he walked in on them in the act. I mean, in the act of having sex, and of all people, Richard Pryor. That it was very shocking. I'm like, Richard Pryor and Barbara Walters. That's pretty, like, wow. No one saw that coming. No one saw that bomb dropping. So hey, but you just never know what anyone is doing, especially people when you prominent people like them, like Barbara Walters, like Richard Pryor, like any politician. Again, any prominent people do it all the time. There's average people, nobodies, have affairs and things of that nature, and say a white person and a black person sleep together and things of that. So that's not a bit surprising. I think it was just a shock to find out that Barbara Walters, of all people, like black men. Joy mentioned how she had a crush on Colin Powers, and Sherri mentioned every time Colin Powers would come, Barbara would like basically all the way scoot as close as possible. And hey, Mr. Colin Power was an attractive man. I also heard someone that supposedly they had made the statement that she had a crush on the handsome, debonair, charm, our first black African American President Barack Obama. So according to George, Barbara liked the brothers. It was just so funny. So I had to do come on and give a story in my perspective, and get a laugh and just say, wow, never would have thought someone such as Barbara Walters to have an affair with a black man to actually see. So I'm sure Richard Pryor probably wasn't, Richard Pryor or this Mr. Edward Brooke wasn't the only two black men. It's no telling how many black men she's had affairs with or has actually slept with. But hey, that's their business. That's her business. She's now dead and gone. But we learned something, and we learned it from Joy Behar and Sherri Shepherd. So I'm LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk.